Hey, so if you do your grocery shopping in the UAE, you've probably noticed something new popping up, right? A totally different kind of store, a whole different vibe. And let me tell you, this is not just some random trend. It's actually a quiet revolution, and it's being driven by one of the biggest names in the game, Majid Al Futtaim. So, let's break down what's really going on here.
It really all comes down to this one question. I mean, it feels like overnight these new grocery stores that are all about value have just appeared out of nowhere. And as it turns out, a pretty recent announcement gives us the perfect clue about what's behind this massive shift.
So it all starts with a very targeted expansion. And this move, it's signaling a huge change in strategy for a company that has, for decades, pretty much defined how we shop in the region.
Okay, so here's the news that kicked this whole thing off. The opening of two brand new Sava discount stores. One popped up in Ras Al Khaimah and another one in Al Ain. Now with these two, Sava has officially planted its flag in 6 Emirates. This isn't just a test run, folks. This is a serious full-speed-ahead expansion.
Right, so you're probably asking, what exactly is a Sava store? How is it any different from the giant hypermarkets we all know? Well, the magic, it turns out, is in its super specific and honestly pretty clever business model.
To really get what Sava is all about, you have to understand this one concept, private label. You see, instead of filling their shelves with thousands of famous brand names you already know, Sava gets manufacturers to create products that they sell under their very own brand. And this gives them total control over the two things that matter most, quality, and you guessed it, price.
And just look at how all in they are on this. A mind-blowing 90% of everything you see in a Sava store is their own exclusive private label brand. These are products they source from right here in the UAE and also from Europe. So this isn't just a small store brand section in an aisle, it literally is the entire store.
And here's the other piece of the puzzle. Instead of giving you decision fatigue with a million choices, Sava keeps it simple. They focus on a really tight, carefully selected range of about 1,800 essential items. Think of it as all the stuff you actually need without any of the fluff. This focus is what keeps their operations so efficient, their stores smaller, and their costs way, way down. So we've got a business model that's built for low prices and efficiency. But why is this all happening right now? Well, the answer has everything to do with us, the shoppers, and what we're all looking for.
Let's just be real for a second. For a lot of families, budgets are getting squeezed. We're all becoming a lot more careful about where our money is going, especially when it comes to the everyday stuff that really adds up on the weekly grocery bill.
And this quote right here from the company itself just nails the timing. They're openly saying they're expanding to meet a very real, very urgent need. People are actively trying to make their dirhams stretch further. And that period right before Ramadan? That's a huge time for everyone to stock up. It's no accident.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute. This is way bigger than just a few new stores opening. We're looking at a very calculated move by a retail giant, and it actually fits perfectly into their long history of shaking things up in the region. This timeline really puts it all into perspective. If you go back to 1995, Majid Al Futtaim was the company that basically brought the whole modern supermarket experience to the Middle East. Now, fast forward. They launched the Sava concept in late 2025, and just a few months later, they're already hitting the accelerator on expansion. That tells you they know they're onto something big.
And this is where you can really see the genius of the strategy. For decades, their whole game was the hypermarket model, like Carrefour, right? Absolutely massive stores, endless choices, all the big international brands. The Sava model is the exact opposite, small, simple, and all about their own products. They're not replacing the old model, they're running a whole new playbook alongside it to capture a totally different customer.
So what on earth does this all mean for your next trip to the supermarket? Well, this huge shift from chasing variety to hunting for value is about to change how every single one of us shops for our daily essentials.
So let's boil it all down. First, the company's whole motto, simply unbeatable value, tells you that price is now the main event. Second, we're all learning a new lesson. Private label doesn't mean cheap quality, it means high quality for a much better price. And finally, this move towards smaller, simpler stores could actually mean a faster, easier, and just less stressful shopping trip for all of us. And that really is the big question I want to leave you with. As this hunt for value becomes the #1 priority for both the stores and for us shoppers, you have to wonder, are the days of brand loyalty and those giant, overflowing shopping carts coming to an end?
How is this going to change what you put in your cart next week?